and to invite Dr. Lilian Busse, who is the Vice President of the German Environment Agency, to welcome us to the summit.
All right. Can you see me?
Not yet, but I think we are working on that. There you are. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Lilian Busse. And since the cooling and heating of buildings significantly contributes to green gas emissions, I'd like to ask you why natural refrigerants are particularly important in this context. And with that, I will give you the floor.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm very happy that I can say some introductory words for this important conference. So thank you so much for having us. It's very important, like you all know, and I said that before I give my introductory words, is that as an example in Germany, that two sectors actually do not meet the climate goals, and it's buildings and traffic. So it's very important that we work on CO2 emission reduction in buildings. And I'm also very happy you talked about the ministry. The climate action and climate protection is back since this government, back in the Ministry of the Environment. So exciting for us, and we hope that we can move forward with that. All right, so distinguished representatives, ladies and gentlemen, also from my side, welcome very much to the Green Cool-It Summit of 2025. The series from the UBA and GSZ was paused last year, and now we are back. I'm very happy about that, and we are actually back with a hot topic, like Julika said, sustainable cooling and heating in buildings. And you all know that better than I am, that around 40% of the worldwide energy demand is used in buildings, of which 2/3 are used for heating and cooling purposes. Especially the cooling demand shows a dramatic increase worldwide, and the trend is going up. And that's actually because the heating periods will go up as well. So there's an estimate that there will be tripling by 2050, and the CO2 emissions will be then about 6.1 billion tons. Further emissions are added to the use of fluorinated refrigerants with a high global warming potential, and you mentioned that as well already. This development is just simply not an option for a sustainable future and for a sustainable world, and common practices definitely need to change, and that's the reason why you're all here. And this is actually not a matter of a distant future, as technologies are available already, which bring down the heating and cooling demand in buildings considerably. Measures as improved insulation, shading, high albedo, and the use of renewable energies are appropriate to significantly decarbonize the building sector. Greening of facades and roofs lowers the cooling demand further, as do plants, especially trees in the streets, through an improved microclimate. Regarding the refrigerants, almost all countries in the world now are moving away from high global warming potential to low global warming potential refrigerants to comply with the Kigali Amendment of the Montreal Protocol. On one hand, actually, that's good news, since this already brings down the CO2 equivalent burden of direct emissions from air conditioning and heat pump equipment. On the other hand, also, this causes new threats to the environment and also to human health, since some of these low global warming potential refrigerants break down into trifluoroacetic acid, or TFA, a highly persistent contaminant, and it's actually mobile in liver, and it's a reproductive toxicant. They're also called the forever chemicals, and we actually find them already in our drinking water and our food. Regarding the expansion of air condition applications with TFA precursors, namely the refrigerant R123YF, this is a serious health problem already, which calls for immediate action. We therefore need to shift not only to low global warming potential refrigerants, but also to environmental friendly refrigerants, which are natural refrigerants such as hydrocarbons, ammonia, or carbon dioxide. So this year's cooling summit will present technologies, strategies, and policies enabling comfortable temperatures in buildings that are both available and viable, and which lead to an environmentally sound development in the sector. So with these words, I wish you great discussions, good new insights, lessons learned, as well as good networking. And to add to that, I think it's great that it's an online conference, so there's also not many CO2 emissions produced by this meeting. With that, I wish you all the best for the next 2 days. Thanks.